G'day everyone, and welcome to the start of this week's video. We start this one off with 2 free camps, and the second one being one of our favourites from our last trip up here, and that's at the Kalbarri Bridge, and a beautiful location that one. We really enjoy staying there. And from there we make our way to Kalbarri, and whilst we're at Kalbarri we go out and we have a look at the Skywalk, and as well as the Skywalk we have a look at Nature's Window, take a few photos there, and then we make our way down to the Z-Bend, all very close to each other, and not very much travelling to have a look at them all. Once we leave Kalbarri, we then make our way to Geraldton, and one of the things that we do whilst we're in Geraldton, and that's to go out to the Coliseum Conservation Park and see if we can find some wildflowers. We didn't expect to find very many at all, but we did find some that certainly satisfied the appetite for this part of the season, and we were very pleased indeed with the flowers that we did find. I'm Mick, and this is Sally. Together we've been caravanning Australia since the 1980s, and more recently we started to put the videos together just to show you some of what we see out there. There's a lot to see in Australia, and we hope you enjoy what we have here to show you. Joining us on the big lap with their own van are our good friends Michael and Janice. You can follow us on our trips via the following social media platforms. With a departure target time of around 9 AM in the morning, it was just before 9 o'clock when we did leave Denham, making our way down towards the Billabong Roadhouse. With ideal travelling conditions again, no wind, blue skies, we slowly made our way towards our target destination, and as that turned out, it was just that little bit further than the Billabong Roadhouse. G'day everyone, and we've pulled into Narran roadside parking. We're here for one night. We were going to stay at the Billabong Roadhouse, but it just wasn't suitable. We didn't think that was the ideal spot once we had a look, so we've come in here and one night, and moving on tomorrow morning as we head towards Kalbarri. It's not a huge parking area, this one, but by the time you take all these little side chutes off that you see here in the red dirt, and you don't decide to camp on the asphalt, it turns out to be a reasonably large area. On the road again early the next morning, and this time we're heading for the Kalbarri Bridge, and we've stayed here once before and quite enjoyed it, so we thought we'd give it another go on this trip. There are 2 camping areas for the Kalbarri Bridge, one on the south side, and that's the one we're turning into now, and then before you come over the bridge as we came down this morning, there's one on the north side. G'day everyone, and we've arrived at the Kalbarri Bridge south here on the Murchison River. We're here for one night, moving on tomorrow, but plenty of water in the river, and such a lovely spot to camp at. Once again, when we film any location like this, we try and do it when there's least amount of people around. They don't want cameras in their face, etc. So it did fill up by the night, and come the following morning when we were ready to leave, it was absolutely chock-a-block. It's really a popular, well-known camping area, this one. On the day that we camped there, we were lucky enough to see 5 of these black swans swimming around on the Murchison River. A great spot to camp, and it's also a great spot to just sit back, relax, and perhaps catch up on a bit of lost sleep. As we were camping on the southern side, we thought we'd take a walk across the bridge and just have a look at the northern camp area. And the ground was a little bit more undulating than what it is on the southern side, but by no means would I say it's any worse of a camping area. When we left the Galena Bridge camping area, it was an easy run that was going to take us into the town of Kalbarri. As we drove towards Kalbarri, the clouds started to build up, and we weren't quite sure whether all our good weather was going to be now behind us, and we were going to be in for some of this rough weather that we're hearing that the southern part of Western Australia was experiencing. As the day progressed, the weather did deteriorate, but that didn't stop the kangaroos enjoying the green grass that was there behind the information centre within the town. G'day everyone, and we've arrived at Kalbarri. We're here for 2 nights and we've booked into the Big River Ranch at Kalbarri, and hopefully the weather's going to be kind to us. Wiki Camps has this camping location listed as a farm and station stay. It is only small, predominantly unpad sites, and that's what we're looking at now. We were lucky enough to score a pad site for our stay. The weather wasn't really looking that favourable at times, and the clouds had come and go, and then it looked like it rained, and then it looks like it's going to clear up, so we thought we'd go along the coastal drive. And the first one that we went to was the one here called the Red Bluff. So we went for a walk out, and then the rain clouds sort of started heading our way and we didn't really know what to do. Unfortunately, from this point on it rained, and I had semi-waterproofs on, so I thought, well, I'm out here now, so I'm going to just wait it out and see if the rain stopped. But no, it poured down quite heavily at one stage, and you can see the water coming, or the rain coming in over the sea there. And it was just time to make our way back to the car, but very disappointing, but very pretty at the same time. With it pouring with rain but broken skies up above, we thought we'd continue on to our next port of call. From the car park, we were now going to go down and have a look at Castle Cove and the natural bridge, and the weather was favourable on this short walk. It was only a short walk, but it allowed us to have a look at a few of the flowers that were now coming out as we were walking down there and get a few nice ocean views. Kalbarri has got a lot to offer the visitors as far as things to go and have a look at, and some of these ocean views that we're looking at now are only a small part of it. With those stormy rain clouds starting to bear down on us again, our next one that we're going to have a look at was called Island Rock. Most of the vehicle roads that bring you into these lookouts are a sealed road. Not all of them, but most of them are, and the ones that we're on that weren't sealed were in good condition. Even though the rain was staying away momentarily, we did have to contend with a very strong coastal wind. The final area that we're going to have a look at, and that was called Eagle Gorge. As we were viewing the coastline from these lookouts, it did really make us ask the question that with the darker skies and the lower light, it really made the coastline that more pleasant to look at, where everything wasn't appearing to be overexposed by all the bright light. With another storm cloud dropping lots of water on the ocean, it was time to get out of here, go and do a little bit of shopping before we returned back to the caravan. With only being able to find 2 nights accommodation in Kalbarri, we saved this day for the best trip of all, and that was to head out to Skywalk and Nature's Window. Skywalk was our first one to stop at, and it was amazing to see the animals, how they'd created these statues of them. You've got the old man emu here with his chicks, and very well done. The Kalbarri Skywalk officially opened to the public on June the 12th, 2020, and the project includes 2 cantilevered platforms overlooking the Murchison Gorge, and it was all done at a cost of $24 million. The 2 cantilevered viewing platforms that hang in mid-air 100 metres high above the gorge offer spectacular and breathtaking views of the Murchison River, and it's something you want to walk out on to appreciate what you're going to see. The platform that we're on now, which is directly out from the cafe that we're looking at there, that platform is the longer of the 2, and the second one being slightly shorter. The second platform that we're looking at now, as mentioned, is shorter, but in reality it offers some very spectacular views, which is similar to what you'll get on the longer one. If you've got a height phobia, which I have, don't be put off by going out on these platforms, and it didn't affect me, so hopefully it won't affect you. With only a short drive from the Skywalk platforms, we're now at the area that was going to take us down to Nature's Window. Other than a few steps at the very beginning, it's a very easy walk that will take you to this lookout platform as we look down into the Murchison River. Once you leave that viewing platform, the walking surface that you have to negotiate to get down to Nature's Window does change quite substantially. It's no longer a flat walking area, you've got this rocky area here that you've got to get over, and then once you get past this one, you've got these step type things that you've got to negotiate as you make your way towards Nature's Window. I think at this point in time the crowd followed us down here. There was hardly anyone here when we arrived, but to get a photo shoot or a video like this one, it was quite a challenge in the end because the crowd was there waiting and everyone wanted a turn at a photo. The views that you get down near Nature's Window is quite incredible. Not only have you got the gorge, but the formation of the stonework and the area that you walk down across is something to be seen. As we're walking through the car park here at the Z Bend, we see a wallaby statue similar to the emus that we saw at the Skywalks. There are 2 walks that you can do from the car park. A 1.2 kilometre walk that will take you down to the lookout at the Z Bend, or if you want to go down to the floor of the Z bend down onto the gorge floor, there is a 2.6 kilometre walk. The native shrubs, as they started to come out into flower, added to the beauty of the walk as we made our way down towards the lookout. The water was running in the gorge, not very fast, but wouldn't it be a spectacular sight to see this one in full flow? It was a little bit later in the same day when we were back in Kalbarri that we thought we'd go down along the coast, not like we did on the previous day when it was raining, but just around the immediate area of Kalbarri Township and have a look at the ocean. There were some very big and angry and forceful waves out in the ocean on this afternoon, but here in the bay, immediately in front of the town, it was quite sheltered and the waters were much calmer. With our time in Kalbarri being over all too soon, it was now time to hit the road and make our way down towards Geraldton. As our trip continued down south towards Perth, the distance between stops was getting shorter, and of course that also increased the road traffic. G'day everyone, we've made it to Geraldton and we booked in for 4 nights here at the Sunset Beach Holiday Park, and hopefully we might be able to find some wildflowers while we're here. The weather's on the improve, so it's all looking good. After our wet period whilst we're in Kalbarri, it was now good to be able to enjoy a bit of blue sky again. Caravan park here that we were staying at in Geraldton was only a small one, and even though a lot of people did leave every day, come that next night, all sites were basically 100% full with capacity. We have got a swimming pool if you're game enough, but not too cold for us. Great little camp kitchen and entertainment area here alongside the swimming pool, everything that the traveller would need. With the elevated viewing deck here, wouldn't it be lovely on a balmy afternoon and watch that sun go down over the ocean while you're drinking a glass of wine. While we're in Geraldton, we went and had a look at the HMAS Sydney 2 Memorial, and this is a memorial that's dedicated to those that lost their lives on the 19th of November 1941 when the Sydney was sunk off the Australian coast. It wasn't until the 16th of March 2008, at a depth of 2,480 metres and 207 kilometres west of Steep Point in Western Australia, that the Sydney was located. The stainless steel dome at the memorial consists of 645 stainless steel gulls, each gull representing one life that was lost on the Sydney. It was while we were walking along the esplanade that we were lucky enough to witness a ship being berthed. They're very clever, these guys, what they do, and of course they know what they're doing, and it was well worth the watch. Today was going to be the day that we're going out to the Colseum Conservation Park and we were hoping to find some wildflowers. We were expecting none, so what we did find was going to be a bonus. It was when we reached an area called Holmwood that we found these everlasting flowers, and it gave us hope for what we'll see during the remainder of the day. As well as finding wildflowers at the right time of the year, the Conservation Park offers some great lookouts, and one of the lookouts here is from the Irwin lookout, and that looks down over the Irwin River. We had been informed that the flowers were only just beginning, and that's exactly what we did find when we were out here. There was thousands of flower heads, or buds, call them what you like, that were ready to burst out into colour, but it's a few weeks away yet. We're now at the area called the Miners' Campground, and that's where the Irwin River South can be found. It wasn't too many days before we were there on this day that there'd been substantial rain in the area, and the Conservation Park had been closed, so it's only just been reopened, and that allowed for a bit of water to be flowing down the Irwin River South. Once again, not a lot of flowers on this part of the area as well, but they were well and truly on the way. Once the river crossing was negotiated, it was time to move on. We were now going to make our way around to the riverbed picnic area, and it was there that we were going to enjoy a picnic lunch. The facilities at the picnic area were first class. There were 3 barbecues here, although in saying that, one of them was out of service, but nevertheless the other 2 were very clean and I assume in working order. From the Conservation Park we went on to Mullewa, and it was here on the northern side of the town that we found all these everlasting flowers. From Mullewa we started to head back towards Geraldton, and it wasn't very far after leaving Mullewa that we found all these everlastings on the left hand side of the road, and it's only a matter of when you're driving, keep your eyes open, and it's amazing what you'll see. The everlastings that we found on this trip today is only a very, very small amount compared to what you're going to find in 2 or 3 weeks time, and this video was actually recorded in the first week or at the end of the first week of August, so come the end of August there will be flowers everywhere, and of course this video will be out well after that period. Contented with the number of flowers that we did find, it was time to head back to Geraldton. Well, this brings us to the end of this video. Hope you've enjoyed what we've shown you, and on the next one we'll start that off with having a look at a very big tractor here in Western Australia. But until that video goes up, you take care and look after yourself.